This episode of the T4 Show is brought to you by Netflix. Watch thousands of TV episodes and movies on your PC, Mac, iPad, iPhone, or TV instantly. All streamed directly to you, saving you time, money, and hassle. For your free 30-day trial, go to netflix.com/GFQ. Hey everyone, welcome to the T4 Show. It is May 22nd, 2013, and this is episode number 142. Really big episode, especially if you're a gamer, and especially if you're an Xbox fan like myself. But my co-host Colm claims that he may not be an Xbox One fan, and he's here to join us tonight. How you doing, Colm? What do you got in your hand?
I'm doing excellent. Here it is, Michael.
That's not the Xbox One. That's the 360 controller.
You're right. No, it's great to be here,
Listen,
Michael.
You don't get in trouble doing unboxings and making jokes. It'll cause a lot of blowback on that, so you don't want to do it.
Wow. Well, you know what? I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to talk about what we heard from Microsoft, what we know from Microsoft, and find out if you're going to pre-order, if I'm going to pre-order, and if Suncast will ever start gaming.
Well, we have John, and we actually have a shot of him this time. He doesn't sound like the voice of God. We actually have some video, and there he is right there. Good job. Awesome. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you guys?
I'm great. You have like a that's like a Freddy, a mix between Freddy Krueger, Charlie Brown, and can't quite put another finger on it, but
that's
it
a good
definitely
one.
looks
You don't
like
like this shirt?
An outcast serial killer that always gets the football pulled away from him as he's kicking the field goal.
Stripes are hard to pull off. I don't think I could.
Well, yeah, they're still hard to pull off now. But yeah, that's more of a Freddy Krueger look, actually.
Okay.
Looking at the chat room, seeing what they're thinking.
Chat room.
That's all right.
Chat room's all about Xbox. That's all I want to know about.
They really are. They don't want any kind of 1980s horror movie. So you're not even young enough. You both are too young to remember the first Nightmare on Elm Street, are you?
No, I saw it, of course.
Yeah, probably after I saw it in an actual movie, not on TV.
Oh, I probably saw it at one of my friends' sleepovers in their basement.
Sleepovers. Oh, what was this last
what? You're a funny guy.
Yeah, I'm trying. Anyway, as Paul Thurrott on What the Tech predicted, the May 21st event was correct. Yeah, I mean, they were right, spot on with everything, although the price wasn't released. But there is a brand new Xbox. It's called the Xbox One. We had the Xbox original, the Xbox 360, and now the Xbox One. And Colm, what do you think of the name? Let's start with that.
Right. Okay. So I was convinced that it was going to be called Xbox 365. I thought that not only would that match with their whole branding of Windows 365, but since it was 360, they could do like this whole thing with like it's 5 times better, blah, blah, blah. So I really thought that was going to happen. But no, Xbox One, I mean, it's not terrible, but it's the same thing I don't understand because it's the same confusing thing that like the new iPad did because there already is an Xbox One.
Yeah. I'm going to go through some points from the roundup. First thing we're going to do is talk about the hardware real quick. And I have a couple different sites up. I have an Engadget story, and I also have, and that's what he brought up, I think, the Engadget story. We're right on line with each other. So the hands-on with the prototypes of the Xbox One and the new Kinect sensor, which now the Kinect is standard, not an add-on feature with this Xbox, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
You are correct.
So, and I still don't use the Kinect you sent me because you don't use it. It's still in my closet. I cannot find it.
It is a terrible device. Well, I mean, we're going to go into the Kinect, so I'll let you set it up the table, and then we'll talk about it. But go ahead.
So we're just going to run down real quick that and the software and services. I think we're going to stop there because the exclusives and things that are happening on the software and app side is pretty amazing. So the hardware, it pretty much has, I'm going to go, actually, I have to go to the other one. That's a little bit better than Engadget. It actually gives the specs on extremetech.com.
Well, Michael, while you looked that up, what was we both seen the box now, and Suncast is showing pictures. What's your first reaction?
I thought it looked like a cable box because of the size. It didn't turn me off, but it turned you completely off, right?
Well, just that, I mean, first of all, I think that this is not what we're going to see as the final box. There's no way. It's way too, like everything we were seeing was renders, right? They didn't.
So you think that they just did this to one-up Sony, so they said, hey, look, we're showing you something, when Sony with the PS4 said, well, we can't show you anything, but it's cool.
I agree. I agree with that because Sony did take a lot from hearing about when they didn't show the box. There was just news articles and tweets everywhere about that. So I think they had to show a box. I think it's going to be similar to this, but I don't think there's no way it's going to be that it's enormous. Did you see it?
I'd have to say the original Xbox 360 and the original Xbox were pretty big before they came out with a slim model. So maybe they can make it that slim just yet and keep the price point where they want it.
True. But you would think that something that big would cost so much. But then the other side of me thinks, okay, but I'm looking at my Steam box, which is this huge tower. So it makes sense if you're going to have a powerful device like they're having, then it should be bigger. But I don't know. That was my initial thing. My thoughts on the controller, though, was I was super excited. My first thought was, are they going to make that ready to work with a PC?
Well, it has 3 types of software built into it, and one of it is a scaled-down version of Windows 8, I think, with the apps. But the specs here is an 8-core CPU. It doesn't give you the exact gigahertz or anything like that. 8 gigs of system memory, 500 gigs of hard drive space. You called that one, and so did Paul Thurrott. The surprise, and I think I called this one last week, if I'm not mistaken, John and Cole. I said Blu-ray, right? And you said
you did.
No way. I said Blu-ray. So, and I think that's strictly just for the size of the games that this will run. But also, I think it's one thing to take people away from the PlayStation 3 or even the PlayStation 4 to say, well, I get Blu-ray now. And the format wars, I guess, are officially over, and Blu-ray is one. So 802.11 and wireless with Wi-Fi Direct, that's directly related to Smart Glass. So that can run well. HDMI in and out, which really I was like blown away by that, and that really made me think.
Explain that to me, though. Explain to me now. Does that mean that it's going to do what I want it to do?
You think for pass-through to record video games? Is that what you're thinking?
Well, no. My thinking is this really going to be that device that I'm going to plug my cable box into, I assume, and then it's going to act like it does on Google TV? And that's the reason why it works so fast. You know what I mean?
I would say probably that would be. I tried to think of use cases when I saw this, and I'm not so sure of how it's going to go. It's in and out, so it's not like you can hook it up to 2 displays, which would be pretty unique, especially racing games, to have 2 different displays up in your Smart Glass. I don't know if it has that capability, but what I'm assuming is I thought that, obviously it has to go somewhere, but if they really want to make it into a set-top box, they should not have a pass-through. So that's sort of something maybe they'll address at E3. Maybe there's going to be some kind of peripheral, some kind of accessory where you can utilize the HDMI in and out.
That would be incredible. I mean, when you're saying that with like the 2 screens, I mean, that would change LAN events for people.
Yeah, I imagine no console has ever had dual displays. And
no, never.
Sort of the PC gaming or the Steam gaming that you're talking about.
Right. But here's where I want to talk about the Kinect, because the one thing that I was like,
real quick. That's pretty good. USB 3.0. And I think this could go along the line of maybe having mass storage. So your 500 gig hard drive can be expanded with USB drives as well. I hope they keep it open and keep it more PC-like with that. But I'll reserve judgment, like I said, until we actually get to try those out. But what about Kinect?
All right. The thing I have the problem with Kinect is that when he was showing the demo, the way it used his voice recognition so well and switched between inputs so seamlessly that I was just like, I don't understand how Microsoft has this speech technology that we've never seen before that's better than anything I've ever seen. Like even Google Now, which is great, is not as good as what I saw in that demo. And I don't believe it was real.
Well, obviously they probably set it up in a very controlled atmosphere. I've used it on Windows Phone, the voice dictation and search and stuff, and it's worked pretty well. So I don't know if they are and they've been storing different languages for years with Microsoft, with Bing and other voice capable things. Yeah, it's never going to work as well as they put it, especially with the way that I talk. I'm sort of the extreme litmus test for stuff like that, having the kind of voice I have with the accent and stuff like that. That stuff is always getting messed up. So Kinect, I don't even care about Kinect, but I'm glad they at least included it with the price.
Really?
And that fits me.
Oh, yeah.
it just convinces me that it's going to be a bit higher with a 500 gig hard drive and Blu-ray and Connect built into it. We could be looking at the $399 or $499 model price. And they did eliminate the subscription part, from what I understand and from what Paul said on One
is that
Tech.
official?
I don't know, but I mean, he got
They're
everything
iffy
else
on that right now. Because the big question was, he asked him about Xbox Live Gold, and he says, "Yes, that is our." He said it was weird the way the guy phrased it. It's like it's our current service that we will be using moving forward, but he didn't say like it was going to be on the new one or not. I don't know. It was very strange.
I hope they keep the price the same. I hope they don't raise that. They have to compete with Sony too, so I can't imagine them raising it. As a matter of fact, I think it'd be pretty smart with the set-top box stuff and the CW app and the Sci-Fi app and all these other things. And they have advertisements on those apps, by the way. They're not just commercial free. If they use that as an advertising thing and then gave the Xbox Live away for free to compete with Sony, it would have more incentive for TV networks and other content to go strictly on the Xbox One. I think.
Yeah, but here's my problem with that, Michael. Is that, do you know how much it costs to get your content on an Xbox, to get a channel on Xbox? 250,000. So that means that the regular Joe Blow who has, I mean, here even at GFQ Network, we couldn't afford to get the network on an Xbox thing.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about ABC, NBC, Fox. We're talking about the major networks that aren't on there right now, and they use it to gain more ad revenue on the Xbox when they're getting more subscribers by making their live service, the internet connected service, free. I mean, $50 is still good for me. I'm saying for the 50 they lose on me, you, and whoever else, they're gaining market share. They're gaining eyes for the Sci-Fi app or whatever other TV network app they put on there to say, hey, we got 15 million or 20 million subscribers that are looking at your ads, and they're target-based ads, and we can data mine for the games they play and all that stuff. That could be huge, but of course that would be a little too forward-thinking in the TV world, I guess. So you want to get right to the big thing. The thing that you and I say is not the deal breaker, but the deal maker for the Xbox One, and that's the NFL.
You know what? Not even just the NFL, Michael. They did a great job with sports altogether. I mean, they locked in ESPN. They thought about fantasy, and like you're going to talk about with the NFL, they thought about people like you and me, and this is the main reason why I want the console. So go ahead. Sorry.
Bring it up. I was actually looking for the NFL. Well, I don't have the page on me, but it looks like it's going to be NFL's exclusive, or at least exclusive content on the Xbox One. You and I were looking for Red Zone a la carte, which would have been amazing. But it looks like it's going to be NFL exclusive stuff, and probably Red Zone, I would think, because the fantasy overlay seems to be the part that really makes it stand out. Real-time fantasy stats, and things come up, they pop up, they populate as people score, interceptions, whatever stats change. But the interesting part is that you can basically initiate a Skype call and trash talk, which I know you're probably going to be a big fan of, and talk trash to somebody else via, I assume, the Kinect camera linked to Skype. Correct?
Skype group video too. Like it could be like a bunch of, it's ridiculous how they're finally taking that purchase of Skype and using it in a positive way. And I'm really excited with what they're doing there. Yeah. I mean, it's the times when I'm sitting with my wife and I'm watching Jerseylicious, not to say that that's a terrible show and not to say that I'm a huge fan, but then my fantasy stats will pop up on the screen. That's like unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, do you think that now we got to pay a premium for this group chat that we're doing right now? Do you think you're going to have to pay extra? You think that's going to be lumped in and make the $50 a year with Xbox Live more of a value? Do you think they're going to keep the 50 and say, well, you get all this cool stuff for free?
Well, see, I think they have to, because if you look at like PSN, I pay for that now, and the way that they give us so many games for free is what I think they need to start doing as well.
Yeah, that's the PS Plus is the only reason that I really probably stay on the PS3, and the Vita is always going to be there for the niche for travel. You know what I'm really shocked at? I'm really shocked that they didn't try to go into some sort of mobile gaming market with a portable Xbox or some kind of portable smart glass type game with a 5 or 7-inch screen where you can basically play like that. I think the what device is out with Android? The Tegra one with
the Shield.
Project Shield. If they did that with an Xbox controller and had a screen attached to it and had all the guts of a real powerful mobile gaming device, that would be pretty cool. But they're not going to. Maybe next time. Maybe next year for E3. Maybe they're holding back to add to the Xbox.
Everyone's been talking about a portable Xbox machine since, I guess, like the first Xbox too.
I think they've been doing it since, my God. I mean, yeah, since the first Xbox when the first PSP came out, we thought we were going to see that kind of competition. But all right, so we were talking about sports, the NFL. We're talking about the Skype stuff. John, if you could do right above related stories on Engadget on the story, EA shows first Xbox One games, FIFA, NBA Live, Madden, and UFC. And there's an accompanied trailer for the EA Sports Ignite engine. So, and you love it because RG3 is on it. Want to take a look at it? Are we going to be able to bring that video up?
I am looking for it right now.
Right above related stories.
I can talk about RG3 while he looks for that. I mean,
that's okay.
What link are you looking for?
It's right above related stories in the Engadget story, if you could.
Okay, I got it.
Cool.
Yeah, so this is the new Ignite. Supposedly it's a combination of Frostbite and I can't remember the other engine. And it's the new engine that all the sport games are going to be running on.
The one thing that the PS4 had the advantage of, it was supposedly real gameplay. These were trailers. These were, rendered things. Do we have that trailer up from the Engadget thing, John, that we can show?
I do. Let me play it again for you.
Yeah, we did about 10 minutes ago, Michael.
Oh, you played it like 3 or 4 times for me?
I'm kidding.
Thanks a lot. So this is, once again, Colm gets to... Yeah, Colm has his RG3 erection. So here we'll go back to it. Now, did they show there's UFC? I didn't know the EA has UFC now. They have that
exclusive?
Well,
exclusive?
EA, unless it's not EA, it's just the Ignite engine that uses UFC. But I thought UFC had a different developer behind it.
Well, I'm trying to think. No, I think EA did do the last one. Chat room will know.
EA did MMA, the MMA game.
Yeah, My Take Radio says EA signed the UFC. Wow,
it's huge.
Well, yeah, EA did not do the last one. Wow.
I wish EA would give up Madden and let 2K Sports take it over and bring back the 2K5 franchise. That would be.
Oh, amazing. Here we go.
Oh,
is it the greatest game ever? You played it. Tell me. It doesn't hold up, does it?
Like it. No, Madden doesn't hold up to 2K5.
You're still saying that it doesn't hold up.
I am still saying I enjoy playing 2K5 even with the non-updated rosters. I still enjoy it. So, all right. So we're gonna skip ahead. We can look forward to the first game. The first sports game is going to be Madden. It's the 25th anniversary one too. And the interesting thing about that particular game is that you get the NFL for free, but you said there's some catches with that with DirecTV and whatever subscription you have as far as TV or internet service, isn't there?
Yeah, the only thing that I was reading about it is that you buy the $99 edition and then you're able to get the season, but you only get it for, I think it says like, it was like weird with it. It had a date number, like how many weeks you could get it for, and it was not passed
17.
into the playoffs.
No, it was 17. So it was the regular
17.
playoffs, just red zone. It's the regular season. So
I don't know what that means. And plus, this Xbox is not coming out before the NFL season. So I'm assuming this relates to the following season, unless this box is coming out in August. That's what I don't get.
Can you imagine if it came out in August? I would say that they're leaving money on the table if they release this thing in November. Wow. Unless they offer you, a prorated discounted rate on it. But Madden comes out in August, so if you buy that, you're paying the full $100. But either way, you're getting a great deal.
Yeah, you're definitely getting a great deal. If you're someone who likes to have who's going to get Madden every year anyway, and you're thinking about watching all the football games, it's a no-brainer, I think, for $99. And they said it will have an app, I think, on an iPad.
Oh my God! The last time they said that, it was a nightmare. Remember?
Right. But who knows?
Yeah. So, we got a lot of questions about Xbox One. I personally do. I know you do, the people in the chat room and everybody listening and watching. PC Magazine, PCMag.com, put up a pretty good thing, pretty much categorizing all the questions with the Microsoft Xbox One, what you need to know. And this is where, I kind of was able to really discern the information because, like you said, they were a little vague on some stuff at the event and when Paul asked him some questions. So, the first most important thing is, what am I getting with the Xbox One? You get the console, you get one controller, and you get the Kinect sensor. So the 2-controller thing you came up with is
no good.
Yeah, it sucks. It should come with 2 controllers. I mean, this is a game, that system that you're going to be playing with somebody else, or in our case, you're going to be breaking one of them by throwing it or stepping on it. You're going to need a backup. So. I need to connect for the Xbox One. This is the interesting thing here. Yes, as we saw in the demo, I'm quoting PC Mag, voice and gesture are a big part of the new console. The all-new Kinect is now an essential and integrated part of the platform. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, according to Microsoft. Ultimately, the integration of Kinect will allow developers to create a new experience that tap into that functionality, like the Illuma Room experience. Now, tell us about that. You were pretty excited about
this. Is something that Paul Thurrott really was talking about. He thought they were definitely going to show. And what this does is, you're sitting on your couch, you got your controller, you're playing your first-person shooter. It's showing your nice screen TV, but now you're getting an extra experience by, I don't know how it's done, so do not quote me on this, but it's either a projector where you're sitting or a projector around the edge of your TV, and it expands your vision so you have the whole, like if you're, let's say you're playing Madden, you're running on the field, you usually just see like in the box that you're playing. Now you're going to have the rest of the stadium around you. And there's some, if you look up Illuma Room on YouTube, there is a video that someone put up there. So the rumor was that they pretty much had the technology.
This reminds me of the Batman movie with Jim Carrey, where he had the holographic TV. Well, that's what it reminds me of. I know the movie was terrible, but I'm just saying that's what it reminds me of. So
I think
that's going to be something. Do you think that's going to be something that's sort of like a beta thing in this, or do you think it's going to be a mature product when it's released?
Oh no, it would have to be beta, I would think. I mean, it seems like it's either they're going to announce it at E3 and do a big thing around it, or they're going to have it for the next E3 that they want to have something new for the system. So I don't know. It looks cool. I'd probably use it like a couple times, but would I use it every time? No, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. People had questions about the controller. They said they added more than 40 technical and design innovations to the Xbox One controller. It includes an updated directional pad, thumbstick, ergonomic fit. So no more original X. Remember the old Xbox controller, how big it was? That was crazy.
God, it was so huge. You couldn't even see your hand.
Yeah. And new vibrating impulse triggers that also pair automatically with Kinect, Microsoft said. This controller looks a lot like the Ouya controller. You were showing it when I was not on Skype, and you're bringing it up now.
Yeah, look at that. There's the Ouya. Yeah, it's hard to say because this Ouya one looks very much like an Xbox controller, let's be honest.
Well, I'm talking about the buttons, the way they're pronounced with the letters that are very...
Oh, you're right. It does look like that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, it doesn't look like it in design. It just, with those 4 very vibrant letters on there, it looks like the same button, styling of the Xbox One.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm really curious to see how far this design goes. I mean, I remember the first time they showed the Wii GameCube, and they called it the Revolution. It didn't look like with the final product. So I guess the Wii sort of did, but they didn't really even talk about the box there. I don't know. It's so weird.
Yeah, little quick point is Batman Arkham Origins has a trailer out, so check that out.
Oh.
It's just the subject of Batman real quick. John Bland put it in the chat room, but I already saw it, and it looks very, very good. Hopefully that'll be out on Xbox One. I should be right around the time of it coming out. Imagine if that was a launch title. That'd be pretty amazing.
That would be pretty amazing. And what's his name? The Kevin Conroy, the usual voice of Batman. He has something to do with the game, but he hasn't revealed it officially.
I heard he wasn't the voice this time. That they didn't contract him for that, which is amazing.
No, but he came out at some Comic-Con, and I think it was Dallas Comic-Con. He came out and said that he was involved in the project. I don't know. It seems like it's all promotion.
He's really the only voice of Batman in all these things and the cartoon and everything. He's the guy. So we have a guy in the chat room, Mark Earls, that says Kevin Conroy said he's working on the next game, not Origins. Not on this one. Wow.
Origins is the next game.
It is the next game, but the game after that.
Oh.
That's weird. That's really strange.
Why would they do that?
I don't know. Money. That's probably what it is. Here's a question that I would have, and I may not like the answer. Can I use my Xbox 360 controller with the Xbox One? Doesn't look like it. Microsoft told Polygon that Xbox 360 controllers won't work with the Xbox One. That also goes for games. The games it is not a backwards compatible console.
Yeah, and this is a huge debate, and I can't wait to get in a debate with you about this. So,
okay.
Why do I keep looking at the screen? It looks like Suncast is showing like some kind of like shady websites that they're not in English. What's going on there?
Is it
NTPs?
One site you showed, I was like, wait, is he showing things that are not appropriate for the show?
Yeah, wait till we get off the air to look at those sites.
Anyway, this is a huge debate here, Michael.
Unwind. Yeah, go ahead.
What we're about to talk to is a huge debate. I've seen many people in the chat room already writing about it, want to hear what we're about to talk about. And it's this whole thing of just the used games and how we're going to be purchasing the games and what stores are going to have the games or how we're going to sell them back. Do we own digital? Like this time in our lives.
Yeah, let's break that down. Don't get too far ahead because that used game thing is a whole different subject to talk about.
Okay.
So let's just talk about compatibility.
So then I'll just talk about digital content-wise. Is that in this time of our life right now, we are starting to collect things that are digital. We have digital collections, and we should be able to transfer those digital collections in certain ways. And, I mean, I've talked about this a couple of times, but what Steam is doing right now with their marketplace is really way ahead of anything that I've seen in that realm, and I think it's going to have to start coming this generation to consoles.
No, what I was saying was, basically going down to the used game thing. I'm going to talk about this. It's actually a quote from Wired. So we have a Wired link up here, Wired.com, and I'm going to quote. Wired asked Microsoft if the installation would be mandatory. And they're talking about if you install a game on a second Xbox or I guess this used game story. On the new Xbox, all game discs are installed on the HDD, the hard drive, to play. The company responded to an email statement. Sounds mandatory to us. What follows naturally from this is that each disc would have to be tied to the unique Xbox Live account, else you would take a single disc and pass it between everyone you know and copy the game over and over again. Since it's clearly not going to happen, each disc must then only install for a single owner. Microsoft did say that if a disc was used with a second account, that the owner would be given an option to pay a fee and install the game from the disc, which would then mean the new account would also own the game and could play without disc. But what if a second person simply wanted to put the disc in, play a game without installing and without paying extra? Say if I go to your house with my game and go, hey, man, let's play some Madden, pop it in. What's going to happen then? In other words, what happens when the traditional concept of a used game, too? This is a question for which Microsoft did not yet have an answer and is surely something that game buyers as well as renters and lenders will want to know. And an update says Microsoft called Wired after the story was originally published to say that the company did have a plan for used games and that further details were forthcoming. Listen, there's another angle on this whole thing, Cole.
Yep.
Do you think Microsoft is going to basically steal the market from GameStop and all these used game stores?
I would not be surprised at all, Michael.
Do you think it's going to be the Xbox marketplace with used digital games, and you can just trade it and use the points towards other digital games on the Xbox Live? That would kill GameStop.
Well, I mean, but we've been waiting. This is just what I was talking about with the whole Steam store is that they still haven't gotten to the point where I can trade licenses of games. Like I can buy a game and gift it to someone, but I can't like play a game and I'm done. I'm never going to play a game and transfer it to someone. They have items that can do this. But so I'm all for it. I think it'd be great for them to do it. I know, I mean, on one side of me says I'm all for it. The other side of me goes, okay, that's another place that's going to shut down around me. That means more people are going to lose their jobs. So that part I don't like. But Microsoft is an American company, so I guess I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Well, let's think about this. Let's think about this real quick. That basically, GameStop really rips a lot of people off with the trade-ins that they use and all the stuff that happens. GameStop really does take advantage of the used game market. If you trade in a game, say a PS Vita game, you're only getting like $3 for a $40 game, and then you got to subscribe to their whole subscription service every year, get an extra 10%. They really do break that. They rake people through the coals. So they may have a little bit of karma coming back on them for taking advantage of people with the trade-ins. I mean, what if Xbox Marketplace, Xbox Live offered rentals as well?
Yeah. No, all those companies, I mean, if it's their own fault if they aren't ready to go to the next level. I mean, how long do they think the physical media was really going to last? So
yeah, we got to think too. If you do rent a game and you go to and the whole installs it on the hard drive, what's the deal then? We could basically get a game for $99. What kind of DRM is going to be put in place for rentals through GameFly or Redbox?
That is so true. I don't think they figured it all out yet. I really don't.
So we're not going to get it in August. There's no way after all that stuff you got to work out. That's crazy.
It'll be longer.
Unless Microsoft just buys around. Well, that's a Verizon company, Redbox, right? They can't buy
Verizon them. Is Redbox, correct. They're fine. Redbox is doing great right now. So
yeah, they're really good. I mean, you let's give me a quick before we go on to the Netflix read, which I'll probably screw up. Tell us about Ouya. Let's talk about that.
All right, let's just talk about it real fast. The Ouya is right here, Michael. It is this tiny little box. I backed it. I did $99, I think, back in August of last year. And it actually, I'm looking at it now, and it actually has some numbers here with names. It has 85 notch. I don't know what that means. Anyway, it has you plug in the power. It's got HDMI out, and you can actually hardwire it with internet connection, or it has Wi-Fi. And it comes with a scary controller, which is actually pretty nice. You have to actually put 2 physical batteries. They're underneath these 2 plates right here. You pop them off and put the batteries in. This right here is a touch screen, but it's not like a touch screen that you would think like you can move menus and stuff. It's more like it pops a fake mouse on the screen that you move and maneuver around and then click. It's like a trackpad. The games look excellent on there. Every game is free. You get to play as a couple levels. You decide if you want to pay more to do that. My favorite thing about it, Michael, and I was saying this before, is it has the Twitch channel, which, as we all know, I'm huge into esports. Toby Wan, Zoe. So that's what I'm using it for. I will use it as a Twitch box, and I think as more and more stuff come to it, or maybe it gets jailbroken, it's going to be a really cool device to have.
So it's not really, I mean, it doesn't have any really full-featured games. These are casual games that are on it.
These are mostly every game that you've seen on your iPad or iPhone.
That's not too bad. And they're shipping. I mean, this is a fun project that actually shipped on time. You got yours. And in June, I think it's going to be June on Amazon is able to ship it. So that's pretty good.
No, and I think it's ready to be shipped. It has a really nice UI. And it even comes with an HDMI cord. How about that, Sony? So it's great.
Sell store spot with you, isn't it?
It's so ridiculous when I got that, open it up, and they're like, here's the red, yellow, and white cord. And I was like, what year is this?
Nice. You know, we didn't even get into the Xbox One versus PS4 versus Wii U, and we'll do a comparison of the PS4. But if Xbox one quick thought before we go to Netflix, if they offer half of the smart glass experience, the second screen experience that they're promising, they're going to crush Wii U. It's over.
Oh, yeah. They're going to crush them.
Yeah. So Netflix, you talk about Redbox, but we've been a big supporter of Netflix, so much so, just as John Bland put in the chat room, we have a Netflix marriage going on. We actually share a Netflix account. Are we supposed to do that, or do we get in trouble for that?
No. It's allowed now underneath their new plans, which we
mine used to be $8 a month to stream, but the new plans have jacked it up. So I might as well claim you as a dependent on my taxes since I support your Netflix habit and your entire family. But I'm more than happy to do it for J Mav and Alyssa. So
yeah,
but,
he gets to watch some Sesame Street. How about that?
Yeah, you put the guilt trip with the baby on.
But you know what, Michael? I don't have to use your account anymore because I can go to netflix.com/GFQ and get 30 days free.
Well, you won't, but everybody listening and watching will probably end up going there. So if you go to netflix.com/GFQ, you get a free 30-day trial. We actually had a person tweet yesterday that she watched the show and she basically said, yeah, this is the reason I got it, and it was the best decision I made. I'm paraphrasing. I'm quoting.
Should we say her handle or no?
Yeah, go ahead.
Lil's Land. No, L Island 216. Oh, I was going to say Lil's Land, and I was like, well, I am educated, so I can try to read that.
Yes, you are.
Would it be L Island, like Long Island? Is that my?
Yeah, I assume that's what she was going for. Not Liz Land.
Liz Land up in New York, and you'd have fun up there. Maybe you can visit Coney Island.
But regardless, she said that she used the code, and she's so happy. So it's a no-brainer right now, and we're going to tell you 2 movies or TV shows that we think you should go watch right now, and you get 30 days free. So I don't understand. If you don't have Netflix, just go to netflix.com/GFQ, sign up, and you get it for 30 days. If you don't like it, you can get rid of it. But I don't know how you can't like it.
No, we're talking about the cutting the cord age. We're talking about Xbox 360 and it also has the Netflix app, but also with CW app, the Sci-Fi app. You can get a lot of your TV, especially with the Xbox One coming out. And Netflix, I'm going to say it again, I prefer the Xbox experience with Netflix because if I'm sitting there and I'm just kind of sitting on the couch watching a series like I'm going to talk about in a second, it automatically goes to the next episode. And I wish when I went to bed that the Apple TV would do that, but it doesn't. I have to manually start the next episode. And the series I've been watching now, Coleman, I keep watching this particular episode. I'm like J-Mav. I like watching the same show over and over again. So you can compare me to like a 2-year-old. Is he 2 now or 4? How old is he?
No, he's almost 2. September he'll be 2. He just wants to watch Psy videos on YouTube.
So I watched the same. Me and a 2-year-old both share a lot of stuff in common. One thing, watching the same episode over and over again. My episode, Colm, is the Justice League Unlimited epilogue episode, which puts Batman Beyond, or Terry McGinnis, 65. It's actually not him, 65. The episode, let me start over. 65 years in the future, when the Batman Beyond kind of like era is, and it's even after that. Terry McGinnis is older, and he's trying to find out the truth. I don't want to give away any spoilers, but it's so crazy, and it goes back into the past and Batman and how he picked Terry McGinnis to be the next Batman, and it also has the government involved with it, and it's a very deep and almost borderline dark episode of the Justice League Unlimited. And I didn't think I would like the Unlimited as opposed to the regular, but this particular episode is probably the best of the series. So what do you?
Yeah, and I think the artwork is awesome on this, and what's also great is, of course, like you said, they have Kevin Conroy doing the voices. I think a lot of the voices that you've heard from all the DC ones that we've heard before, and Paul Dini, which he was part of the original Batman animated series, which you and I both think are the. I mean, I let my son watch. Who's almost 2. We always watch Batman and Batman Beyond. So DC, granted, I think the Marvel movies right now are beating DC movies, even though you disagree. But DC's animation destroys Marvel animation. Just destroys it.
Oh yeah, I can't watch the new Avengers or even the Kid Adventures on Netflix. I can't watch them compared to the DC stuff.
Right. Well, I am interested. There is going to be a new one called Avengers Assemble on the Disney Network, and Disney's involved in it. So that comes this summer, I think. Anyway, Michael, look at my shirt. I mean, if you're a fan of Arrested Development, this shirt, I don't know where I have to move so you guys can see it. This shirt means something to you, and it means something to me. And that's why with the Netflix.com/GFQ, you can then go right now and watch all the, I believe it was 3 seasons, because season 4 begins this. Let me look at the calendar. Sunday, Michael. So Arrested Development.
People can watch and catch up before Sunday with the first 3 seasons of this series, correct?
Right, and then season 4 will just drop on Sunday. And then you can
All
watch
the
whole-
episodes or just one? All the
believe-
episodes for the season?
I think they're doing the whole thing, right? In one drop.
Yeah, I think that's how they did it with House of Cards. You got to think about it. Netflix is becoming sort of like a TV station, a TV
Oh, yeah.
network.
You have to have
content.
original content. Original content is king.
Or you just put up our favorite series and we watch it over and over and over again. Me and my 2-year-old twin, J-Mav. Both
Yes,
same
you and
box.
J-Man will just watch the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, netflix.com/GFQ and try it. We'll have in the show notes our 2 favorite things for this week, which mine seems to just repeat itself. So just copy and paste as needed, John, and we'll figure it out after that. So that's about it. Thanks for everybody for, if this is the edited version, if you joined us for the live version, thank you for sticking with us as we had a lot of call drops, a lot of Skype issues, which admittedly is my fault, and I have to figure out what is going on here, as Colin would say.
What's going on here?
What's going on here? Yeah. Check out Drunk Colm on YouTube if you haven't seen it in a while. It's a really, really good watch
what?
for you.
At least I show people that if you do decide to enjoy yourself at a bar, you walk home and do not drive.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, I guess. I thought you were going to say that at least you show people how you embarrass yourself or how you.
No, that is not what I'm trying to say.
Okay. So you can follow him at Culmination on Twitter. You can follow me at Michael Mano on Twitter. You can also find Liz Land on Twitter as well. You can follow John on Twitter, Suncast with a K. And that is about it. Join us next week, Wednesday at 8 p.m. for episode number 143. Going to cover more Xbox topics as well as other gadgets and stuff. We have a lot of stuff to review, Colin. We got to catch up. So that'll be episode 143 next week, Wednesday at 8 p.m. But for now, for everybody here at the T4 Show, thank you and best of luck in all your future Liz Land endeavors.